The glow from Temitope's laptop screen lit up in her small apartment in Lagos, casting small shadows on the walls. Outside the city hummed with life, cars' horns brilliant, voices shouting, motorcycles zooming past. But inside that nice-looking one-bedroom flat, there was only the sound of rapid keyboards click and the occasional ding of a notification. She barely noticed the time. It was past midnight, but she was still working. Temitope was an IT professional, a skilled graphics designer and website developer. She built websites for business, designed social media ads, and created brand logos. Clients from all over sent their projects, and she worked tirelessly, barely taking breaks. Her job paid well, but it left her exhausted. She worked from home, sitting for hours, staring at the screen until her eyes burned. She never had a time to cook, and she was too tired to stand in the kitchen. So she lived on junk food. Instant noodles, biscuits, canned drinks, bread and fast food deliveries filled her fridge and shelves. She often ordered shawarma, pizza, or rice from online restaurants. Food was just something to fill her stomach, nothing more. One night, after completing a long project, her stomach rumbled loudly. She checked the time, 1:43 a.m. She was starving. She reached for a half-eaten pack of biscuits on her desk, but frowned. "I need real food," she signed and grabbed her phone. Scrolling through different food apps, she couldn't find anything appealing. She tried most of the restaurants already, and nothing excites her anymore. Then something else caught her eyes. A website named Food Eaters. The pictures of their meals look mouth-watering. Steamy hot jollof rice, crispy fried chicken, seasoning beef stew, soft and puffy yam porridges. Her mouth watered. Without thinking twice, she placed an order. She had no idea this decision would soon change everything. Temitope sat back in her chair, stretching her arms. Her eyes felt heavy from staring at the laptop screen all day, but the thought of delicious hot food kept her awake. She checked her phone. Her order from Food Eaters was on the way. "I hope it tastes as good as pictures," she muttered. 20 minutes later, a knock came at the door. She rushed to open it. A delivery man in red and white uniform handed her a neatly packed food tray with the Food Eaters logo on it. "Enjoy your meal, madam," he said with a smile before leaving. The moment she opened the package, the aroma of freshly cooked jollof rice and spicy chicken filled the air. Her stomach groaned in approval. The rice was vibrant red, perfectly mixed with fried pepper and rich tomato sauce. The chicken glazed with deep fried perfection. It crisp green, calling to her. The meal looked better than any fast food she had ever ordered. She grabbed a spoon and took a bite. It was heavenly. The chicken was smoked, flavorful, and lightly spicy, the perfect blend. The chicken was juicy on the inside, crunching on the outside. Each bite melted in her mouth. "This is the best jollof rice I have ever eaten," she whispered, shoving more food into her mouth. For the first time in a long while, she felt satisfied. Her old food deliveries had always felt boring, but this was perfection. After finishing her meal, she knelt back, rubbing her stomach. She was full and happy. She picked up her phone and left a 5-star review on the Food Eaters website. "Your food is amazing. I will definitely order again." And she did, and again and again. For the next few weeks, Food Eaters became her go-to restaurant. Whenever she was hungry, she ordered from them. Their meals were always hot, fresh and delicious. She tried their spaghetti, egusi soup, fried rice, and even small chops. Everything tasted homemade, as if a loving mother had prepared it. Temitope couldn't resist. She couldn't stop. Until one day, everything changed. The evening was quiet that day, apart from the soft light of her laptop. Temitope had just finished a client's website design and stretched her aching back. Her stomach rumbled. She sighed, rubbing her temple. She was too tired to cook. As usual, she reached for her phone and opened the Food Eaters website. Jollof rice and chicken seems like the perfect comfort food. She placed her order without thinking twice. Within 30 minutes, there was a knock at her door. The familiar red and white package greeted her as she opened it, and the delicious aroma filled her small apartment. She settled on her chair, pushing her laptop aside. Her mouth watered as she picked up the spoon and scooped a large bite. The first taste was as perfect as always, smoky, rich and spicy. She smiled, enjoying the food. And then she saw it. A tiny brown object, half hidden between the grains of rice. She frowned. At first, she thought it was a burnt rice grain, something normal in a pot of well-cooked jollof rice, but something about it looked wrong. Her finger trembled as she picked it up. Then it hit her. It wasn't rice, it wasn't spice, it was a cockroach egg. Her stomach twisted violently. The spoon slipped from her fingers, clattering on the plate. Had she eaten others without her realizing? A wave of nausea hit her. She ran to the sink, splitting out everything in her mouth, her heart racing. Disgust, fear, and betrayal filled her heart. Her favorite restaurants, the one she has trusted, had served her this. Still shaking, she grabbed her phone and dialed the number on the website. The call rang once before a creepy woman answered. "Hello, welcome to Food Eaters. How may I help you?" Temitope's voice was sharp with rage. "I just found a cockroach in my food." A brief silence happened. Then the voice responded, still cheerful. "Oh dear, we are sincerely sorry. We apologize for this mistake. It must have been an accident." Temitope's anger flared up. An accident? How does the cockroach egg get into food by accident? "We are very sorry, madam. We will process a full refund immediately." A second later, a notification popped up in her phone. Her money has been refunded, but no amount of money could erase what she had just seen. Her appetite was ruined, her trust was broken, and yet, despite the horror, a small voice in her head whispered maybe it was just a one-time mistake. She told herself she would never ever order from Food Eaters again. But hunger is a dangerous thing. Days turns into weeks, but Temitope couldn't forget the cockroach egg incident. She had deleted the Food Eaters app from her phone, blocked their number, and swore never to order from them again. For a while, she stuck to instant noodles, bread, biscuits, and soft drinks. She even tried cooking once or twice, but after spending hours designing websites and creating graphics, she was always too tired to cook. And slowly, the craving started again. One evening, after submitting a big project, hunger crawled at her stomach. She strode through her phone, searching for another restaurant, but nothing seemed satisfying. The pictures on the menus didn't excite her the way Food Eaters Meals had. Then, as if the universe was texting her, she saw an ad. Craving delicious homemade meal? Try Food Eaters today. Fresh, clean, and made with love. Temitope hesitated. She had loved their food before. The jollof rice, the fried rice, the seasoning stew. Maybe that cockroach egg was just a mistake. Maybe they have improved. Her stomach grumbled. Against her better judgment, she re-downloaded the app and placed an order. Temitope sat in her chair, waiting for her food delivery. She knew she shouldn't have ordered from Food Eaters again, but she convinced herself that everyone makes mistakes. They refunded my money last time, she reasoned. They must have improved. 25 minutes later, there was a knock at her door. She hesitated for a moment before opening it. The delivery man handed her the familiar red and white package with the Food Eaters logo on it. He smiled. "Enjoy your meal, madam." She murmured a thanks, took the package inside and set it on her desk. As she opened it, the mouth-watering aroma of jollof rice and crispy chicken filled the air. Her stomach rumbled in anticipation. She picked up her spoon and took a big bite. Delicious, just like before. See, she told herself, I was just overreacting last time. She ate quickly, enjoying every bite. But then, it happened again. Her spoon scraped against something hard in the rice.
She frowned and moved the grains aside. A small black object lay hidden in the rice. Her breath caught in her throat. Her hands trembled as she reached for it. It had legs and wings.
And it was dead. A cockroach. A full-grown dead cockroach. Temitope's stomach twisted violently. She screamed, knocking the plate off the table. The food split onto the floor, the roasted cockroach landing on top of the rice. Its tiny leg crawled up in death. Temitope stumbled back, covering her mouth. She had already eaten half of the food. Had she eaten parts of the cockroach too? The thought made her gag. She ran to the sink and vomited, tears burning her eyes as she splashed water on her face, scrubbing her tongue desperately. Her hands shook as she grabbed her phone and rushed to the Food Eaters website. She had to expose them. She clicked on the review section and typed furiously, I just found a dead cockroach in my food. This restaurant is disgusting. Do not order from here. She gave them a 1-star review and hit submit. But even after posting the review, her anger didn't fade. Something felt wrong. How can a restaurant that looks so perfect online serve food this filthy? Her curiosity burned hotter than her disgust. And so, Temitope made a decision. She was going to find Food Eaters' real location. She was an IT expert, and finding their location should not be a problem for her. She was going to see with her own eyes where this food really came from. Temitope couldn't sleep that night. She sat in front of her laptop all night, digging into their website for address. She turned on her phone and checked Food Eaters' website again. Their page was still active, full of perfect pictures of food, all looking clean and fresh. New customers kept leaving 5-star reviews, praising the meals. Are these people blind? She muttered. Or is Food Eaters deleting the bad reviews? Her own 1-star review was gone. Her anger boiled over. This wasn't just a dirty restaurant. They were lying to people, covering up the truth. She had to expose them. But first, she needed to find them. So she continued searching. The next morning, she sat in her car, staring at the address she had found in Food Eaters' online records. The location was deep inside a slump in Lagos. Garbage piled up in the streets, dirty water flowed through open gutters, and the air smelled of rotten food. Her heart pounded as she stepped out of her car. A top-rated online restaurant in a place like this? She walked carefully, avoiding mudded pots. No signboard, no restaurant banner, just row of old crumbling buildings. Finally, she reached the address. It was a small dirty building with a rusted iron door. The wall was stained with grease and flies buzzed around the entrance. Temitope's stomach turned. This is where my food come from? Her fist clenched. She wasn't leaving without proof. She took a deep breath and sneaked inside. Temitope pressed herself against the cold, crumbling wall, peeking through the crack in the door. The smell was unbearable. Sweet, old grease, and something rotten hung thick in the air. She could hear the faint sound of voices coming from inside, but no one seems to notice her looking around. She had to be careful. She knew the restaurant would be her only chance to get the proof she needed. She quietly pushed the door open a crack, just enough to slip inside. The moment she entered, she was hit with the overwhelming stench, a combination of stale cooking oil, burnt food, and something foul she couldn't quite identify. The kitchen was disastrous. Filthy. The floor was sticky, covered in spilled sauce, oil stain, and bites of food. Pots and pans were piled high in the corner, greasy and caked with dry food. Some of the utensils looked like they hadn't been cleaned in days, if not weeks. Temitope's stomach lunged again as her eyes scanned the kitchen. The cooks were dirty, wearing dirty aprons. We were busy at the kitchen, but they looked exhausted, unwashed and unhygienic. They didn't even seem to care about the mess around them. One cook was scratching his head while stirring a pot of soup, while another wiped his hand on his already filthy apron. A small cockroach ran across the counter, climbing over a pot of what looks like stew. Temitope's throat tightened as she forced herself not to scream. This is it, she thought, her hand shaking. This is what they have been hiding. She slipped her phone out of her pocket, quietly opening the camera app. She took a picture of everything she had seen. Temitope felt disgusted. This was not the quality she had been eating. This wasn't food made with love. This was sloppy, unsanitary mess. She knew this had to be exposed. Her hand shook, but she held her phone up and filmed a quick clip of the entire kitchen, including the workers and the flies. She grabbed a few more pictures, close up of dirty plates in the corner. Once she had enough footage, she carefully backed away from the kitchen and slipped out the door. Back in her apartment, Temitope's heart was still pounding. She uploaded the video and pictures to her social media account, her fingers trembling as she typed out a message. This is where your food is really coming from. I found this place today. I don't know how you are still eating from this place, but I'm done. At Food Eaters, this is disgusting. Temitope tagged their website, the location, and added the address with the relevant hashtags. She knew her 5 million followers would see it, and soon enough it would go viral. The moment she hit send, her phone buzzed, then another notification and another. Her post was gaining thousands of likes and comments, and it wasn't long before news outlets picked up the story. Temitope sat back, staring at her screen. Holding her phone screen lit up with notification, a few notification whipping over her. It started with a few comments. "It can't be true. Is this a joke? How can they let this happen?" Then the shares started. Her post was rapidly going viral. Her followers were sharing the videos and photos. The media picked up the story, and soon, news outlets began airing clips of the filthy kitchen, along with Temitope's shocking findings. The people were outraged, but the worst part for the food eaters came when official health inspectors arrived at the location. The following day, a news report confirmed what Temitope has exposed. Health inspectors shut down food eaters due to unsanitary conditions. Cockroaches, flies, and expired food were found in their kitchen. The restaurant is under investigation for violating health and safety laws. Temitope's heart raced as she watched the news, feeling a strange mix of satisfaction and guilt. Food Eaters was closed for good. The restaurant's owner and managers were arrested, and the social media accounts were flooded with angry messages. Weeks passed. Temitope went back to her regular routine of working from home, designing websites and graphics. But something had changed. The scandal with Food Eaters was everywhere, and people began treating her differently. Some admire her for standing up for what was right, for exposing the truth about the restaurant's unhygienic practice. Others, however, questioned whether it has been worth it. "Do you go too far?" some of her friends asked. "They are just trying to make a living. Do you have to destroy their business?" Temitope reflected on their words, but the image of the dirty kitchens haunted her every night. The thought of those cockroaches in her food,
The flies flying over the jollof rice, and the disgraceful state of the kitchen always kept her awake. She didn't regret exposing the truth, but she understands now that sometimes the truth comes with consequences, and not everyone will understand or agree with her actions. Moral lessons from the story: always be careful where you order your food and eat. Ordering or buying food is not bad, but be careful where it's being prepared. If you want more amazing, inspiring stories like this, remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you.